Hey everybody, this is Jared from ProPhoto. In this video I want to give you a quick overview of how taxes work in the ProPhoto proofing plugin. The first thing I want to show you is in the individual products area. If you go to proofing products, you'll notice that there is a new option for each individual product, a checkbox to indicate whether a product is taxable. The default is for products to be taxable, but we've received some feedback and input from you guys that in certain scenarios, certain types of products, like for instance digital downloads, which are coming soon, may not be taxable. So here you can differentiate between using this checkbox whether products should be subject to tax. So that's that. The next main area to configure your taxes would be under proofing settings. There's a tab called shipping and taxes, which contains settings for shipping and taxes. If you come down here past a couple of shipping options to the country data input box, this is a place that allows you to set up individual tax rates for various countries. So you'll see the most commonly used countries by our customers are up top, and then every other country is available. But for any country, you can click on the name of the country and then shipping multipliers. We've gone over in a different video for shipping, but there's tax rates that you can set if a single flat tax applies for various countries, and there's also a checkbox to indicate whether in that country shipping costs also need to be taxed at the same rate. So you can check or uncheck that and save your changes. In addition to flat tax rates for countries, for the United States and Canada, we're also providing a little bit more granular control. So if you come down here below the country area, you'll see the United States sales tax table. And this area allows you to enter states, sales tax rates for individual states, and also if you need to enter sales tax rates for specific zip codes or ranges of zip codes. So real briefly how this works is you put a state code on each line here, a state code, and then a sales tax. So Michigan 6%, Ohio 7%. As many as you need to collect from, you can just put one on each line. So Florida 10%, whatever. If you need to get more, for a lot of people, just specifying one state or a couple of states where they have to collect sales tax will be sufficient. But if you're in an area that's a little more complicated, then you can also designate it by zip codes. And there's two ways you can do this, and I've shown kind of an example here. You can do partial zip codes. So here I put, theoretically, this 494 with a comma and then 8. That would mean that any person who put in a zip code which began with 494 would be assessed an 8% tax when they're checking out. And you can get more specific and say people in these, a specific 494, a specific code 23 would get assessed a different tax rate, 7.5. So you can exercise a fairly granular control over zip codes and zip code areas if you need that for some states are, have convoluted systems like that. So that's how that works. Just make sure to put all of these in the order of more general to most specific. So put your states up top, and then your zip code regions, and then your specific zip codes, always separated by a comma, and then the sales tax rate, one per line. And then we also put in the same system for Canada, so you can specify different taxes by provinces if that is necessary. And you can also do postal codes, and there's details over here on the side of how to enter those. You can now show your customers the calculated tax amount before they get sent off to PayPal if you've enabled PayPal payment for a specific gallery, and you can also show them their fully calculated shipping costs. So after they fill out the shipping form, all that can get calculated, and then you can present that information to them. And I'll show you real quickly for manually paid galleries, there is a success message in this words and phrases area here for when a manual payment order is submitted. You can now use these wildcards, %1 and %2. They'll get swapped out with the calculated shipping amount and the calculated tax amount. And same thing for PayPal. If you come over here to PayPal in these checkout flow messages, this one right here is the pre-PayPal checkout message that's customizable, and you can show them here their calculated shipping costs and taxes, and those will also be reflected in line items when they get to PayPal as well. So what this looks like in practice is if I add some taxable products to my cart and then complete my order, it's going to give me a accounting of my shipping costs and my taxes right before I am sent off to PayPal, where those will also be separately indicated in line items. Also, if this was a manual payment, then this would have indicated that a manual payment order had been submitted and that the calculated shipping costs and taxes were as shown here. So that's a quick overview of how taxes work in the proofing plugin. This video is made during the beta period, so it's likely that some of the functionality I've shown you will improve and evolve in the weeks to come.